Artists from 20 states will flock to Metro Detroit's most iconic island, Belle Isle. It's all for the Belle Isle Art Fair. And here to show us some of the pieces up for grabs is the fair director, Mark Loeb. Mark, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you,
This is technically called a juried art fair, but that just means...
Right, what that means, we got a few hundred people apply to participate, and then our jurors, local artists, go through and select the ones that fit the show the best.
Okay. So. Now, we have some wonderful pieces here. Why don't we start off with this chair? Why don't you tell us what's special about this?
Sure,
it is a beautiful
piece. Made by artist Charlene Uricy, who's a local artist with African and Cuban influences, and each of her pieces of furniture tell a story, which I think is kind of fun. Stories is a big part of art. Especially at the art fair, people come home with a piece and they have a story to tell. They met the person who made it. They had the experience at the fair. And
she'll be there and she'll be able to explain the story of this piece and all the other pieces that she has for sale. So tell us a little bit about some of the other pieces you have here. So you have the chair, but you also have, is this a photo?
Yeah, that's a photo. And somebody was mentioning to me that the number on that train, 1225, makes that the Polar Express. I hadn't even thought about that.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sure the kids will be excited about that. And this is a beautiful, beautiful piece with all the smoke there. Tell us a little bit about this one.
And then Terry Butler from Ann Arbor creates these compilations, kind of interesting things.
Sort of mixed media there, is that
Yeah. And then we've got, going into fantasy, this is Puff the Magic Dragon. Functional pottery, of course. My wife and I have switched to mostly functional pottery for our everyday dinner and lunch because it's just adding some beauty to our lives, which is what we're all about, you know.
And tell me a little bit about this one. This is sort of a unique Motown piece.
Right. Bill Watkins takes automotive paints and then he finishes them in the same way that you would finish a car. So you get that beautiful, shiny, clear coat feel to it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the camera does it justice, but looking at this, it really is a beautiful piece, and there's a depth to it. That sort of surprised me. I didn't expect to see that sort of detail. You also have, is that a piece of tile there?
Yeah, that's by Marcia Hovland. And then these last two pieces on the table are kind of interesting juxtaposition. Tom Kruger, who's in his 80s and goes all around the country showing how his glazing technique works. Next to that, we have a piece by Deshaya Ventura, who's 17, and this is actually made entirely with duct tape.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we've got a young MacGyver there who's creating art. Now, I love the range that you have, everything from photos to chairs to functional art, and again, something that's rather innovative. Tell us a little bit about, there's a special tent that you guys have this year.
Right. Now, Tom will be in the Heritage tent, which is designed for artists that are getting up there and really can't be setting up tents and hauling all that stuff.
Right.
And we want to make sure they're still making a living out there, so we've created that experience for them. They just have to bring their artwork.
Well, that's wonderful.
And then Deshaya is in our Mint Artist Guild tent, which is teen artists from Detroit, and we're working with them to learn how to make a living in creative fields.
All right, and if someone is interested in this, they want to come out and buy perhaps some art, or at least even if they just want to take a look at some of the art, when and where is the Belle Isle Art Fair?
We are next to the Scott Fountain on Saturday from 10 to 7, Sunday 11 to 5. And we've got the food trucks, the beer tent, we've got theater previews, music, just a full experience for people.
What's the charge?
It's absolutely free as long as you have your state park pass, which you all should have anyway.
Right, and if you don't, it's only $10 per vehicle.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Mark Loeb with the Belle Isle Art Fair. Let's check in with Kevin, because Kevin will have an idea of what this weekend forecast looks like.